You have likely looked at your own landing page so many times that you have become functionally blind to its flaws. Your brain is no longer processing the pixels on the screen. It is automatically filling in the gaps using your own internal knowledge. This is a documented cognitive feature known as change blindness. When you spend weeks or months building a product and refining the copy, your brain stops analyzing the actual words. Instead, it retrieves your original intent from memory. You do not see a vague headline that confuses a stranger. You see the clear message you intended to write. This cognitive habituation has a direct financial impact. High-traffic landing pages lose potential sign-ups every hour because the clarity you assume is present does not exist for a first-time visitor arriving from a cold ad or a search result. Most operators react to stagnant conversion rates by adjusting button colors, changing fonts, or shifting layouts based on a gut feel. These aesthetic adjustments fail to correct the problem because the issue is not visual appeal. It is the structural failure to bridge the gap between your intent and the visitor's understanding. To resolve the symptoms of change blindness, you have to discard emotional guessing. You must move toward a strictly structural, clinical diagnostic scan of the page's architecture. We evaluate every landing page against a specific threshold, the 5-second reality. This is the absolute limit for retaining a new visitor. Within this window, the decision to stay or leave is made subconsciously. In those 5 seconds, the visitor is not evaluating your features. They are seeking immediate answers to 3 specific questions. Is this for me? Can I trust this? What is the very next step? If the page requires cognitive effort to answer these, the visitor exits. Using internal jargon or builder-centric language in the hero section creates immediate friction. When a visitor has to work to understand what you do, you have exceeded their cognitive load limit, forcing them to abandon the session. This architectural challenge applies to any operator managing a digital storefront. Indie founders, SaaS builders, course creators, and agency owners who are responsible for client conversion metrics. Generating traffic that fails to sign up is not a marketing problem, it is a structural failure. It requires immediate clinical intervention to identify where the intent is leaking. Many founders fall into the diagnostic trap, the belief that superficial UI polish is a substitute for fundamental clarity. A visually beautiful page that lacks a clear message is simply an expensive way to lose customers. To solve this, we use a 7-pillar structural framework. This allows us to move past aesthetic guessing and isolate the exact components of the page that are failing to convert. Pillar 1 is clarity. We measure whether a stranger can describe your offer accurately after 5 seconds. Success in this pillar requires the total removal of jargon and cognitive load from your primary headline. Pillar 2 is hook strength. This is the difference between a category description, like project management software, and a specific pain resolution, such as eliminate the bottleneck in your agency's onboarding. Pillar 3 is trust architecture. This measures how you utilize social proof and credibility indicators to reduce the perceived risk of taking action. Social proof fails when it is positioned where attention is lowest. If your testimonials are buried at the bottom of the page, they are absent at the moment the visitor is experiencing the most doubt, which is usually right at the top of the page. When these first 3 pillars fail, the visitor exits. At that point, the rest of your page, no matter how well designed, is functionally invisible. We complete the human conversion model with 3 more layers. Pillar 4 is desire building. This evaluates if you're selling a technical feature or a transformation. Users buy the version of themselves that is more productive or less stressed. Pillar 5 is action clarity. We look for one singular, obvious next step. Offering a visitor multiple competing calls to action, like watch demo, book call, and start trial all at once, creates choice paralysis. When the path forward isn't singular, the easiest path for the visitor is to leave. Pillar 6 is objection handling. This addresses the yeah but questions that surface before a visitor clicks. If a visitor has a concern about price, integration, or security that you do not address directly on the page, they will leave to find that answer elsewhere, usually on a competitor site. By treating digital persuasion as a measurable architectural process, we can diagnose exactly why a page is failing and prescribe specific technical fixes. To see how this works in practice, we can look at a typical failing SaaS page on the left. A chaotic heat map shows visitors hovering briefly and then bouncing. On the right, we overlay our diagnostic grid to see why. The diagnostic scan reveals a Pillar 1 failure. The headline, "Unlocking Synergistic Growth," is pure jargon. It provides no information to a first-time visitor, who must now spend effort figuring out what the product actually does. We prescribe a surgical intervention, replace the jargon with a plain English statement of value. By stating, automate your client billing in under 5 minutes, we remove the cognitive load and restore immediate clarity. The scan also detects a Pillar 5 failure. The hero section is cluttered with 3 different buttons of equal visual weight. This splits the visitor's attention and increases the likelihood of an exit. The intervention is to demote the secondary actions and consolidate the CTA hierarchy. We leave one high contrast button that dictates the exact next step. By isolating these specific friction points, the vague headline and the competing buttons, we narrow the funnel and force the visitor's focus towards the conversion goal. We are no longer guessing which colors might work. We are removing the structural obstacles to a sign-up. Targeted interventions solve fundamental structural problems that endless aesthetic A/B testing cannot even detect. However, a page that converts humans can still fail if it is invisible to the tools those humans use to find you. This brings us to Pillar 7, AI alignment. This is the bridge between acquisition and conversion. AI engines like ChatGPT or Perplexity do not browse the web like humans. They retrieve data according to rigid hierarchical structures. If an AI cannot easily parse your page, it cannot accurately summarize or cite you when a user asks for a recommendation. This is a conversion issue because search is changing. If an AI engine retrieves a vague or incorrect summary of your service, the traffic it sends you will have the wrong expectations, leading to a high bounce rate. AI alignment ensures the intent is preserved from the search engine to the landing page. To fix this, we implement a specific surgical intervention for your H2 headers. We rewrite them to be direct, descriptive answers to the questions your buyers are asking. This makes your content instantly retrievable for an AI model. We also require plain text entity declarations on the page. You must state clearly who you are and who you serve in a format the AI can parse, rather than hiding that information in metadata that the AI may deprioritize. When you align your structure for AI readability, you simultaneously increase clarity for humans. Both systems prioritize logical hierarchy and direct answers. If a page lacks the structure to be summarized by AI, it is functionally invisible to a rapidly growing segment of the market. Without retrievability, conversion is impossible because the visitor never arrives. Maintaining these high conversion and visibility thresholds is not a one-time task. As your market and AI engines evolve, you must continuously monitor the health of your page to prevent performance degradation. Our diagnostic platform provides a clear path for this monitoring. It begins with the free audit for high-level leak detection and moves to a full diagnosis for complete technical intervention. We offer parallel diagnostic scans for GEO, the Generative Engine Optimization path, diagnosing your AI retrievability with the same specialist precision as your conversion rate. For agency owners who are responsible for maintaining these metrics across multiple client sites, the Agency Max tier provides unlimited scanning and white-label data maps to provide to your clients. For operations requiring high-frequency monitoring, specialist-grade diagnostic tools are a necessity. You need a system that detects structural leaks generalist audits consistently miss. We challenge you to mentally audit your primary landing page against these 7 pillars right now. Look at your hero section. Is your headline written for a stranger, or is it written for yourself? Is your strongest social proof visible within the first 5 seconds, or is it buried? If you find yourself hesitating to answer these questions with confidence, your page is likely suffering from an active conversion leak. Stop guessing why your visitors are leaving. Visit ConversionDoc and run the free diagnostic scan. It takes 60 seconds to see exactly what your visitors see. We provide the technical data maps and surgical interventions required to close the leaks we detect. Start your scan today at ConversionDoc. Link in the description.